What's going on, guys? Quit it. I'm going to tell you what I've never told anyone before. The persona that I've created for myself as a host for the other channel isn't really who I am. I'm not the cap-wearing hyperactive douchebag who turns up my presentations up to 11. Now, people often get me so wrong and judge me based on all of that. The same goes with the Vios owners. Just because the car is Toyota's offering in the subcompact genre, the best-selling car in the country, used primarily for fleet and taxi use, doesn't mean that all of its owners want you to judge them and their cars as such. No. This is not your Tito's Vios. This is the 2019 Toyota Vios 1.5G TRD. And it wants to show you why you're wrong about what you think it is. And yes, this top-of-the-line model comes with a manual. So, take that, Honda. Here's a little something that I told myself while I was writing my last video. I'm going to stop pandering to what other people think I should write or say. If people want to hear me say corny dad jokes or hugot lines in Filipino, they're gonna have to buy me a drink first. You know, get me drunk, and maybe I'll bend over and give in. That's been the longest running gag and feedback I've been given since my hosting days in the other channel. People want me to do this, say this, or maybe become something that I'm not. Well, not anymore. When I first set my sights on this Toyota Vios, that's what came to mind. It doesn't have to confirm with what you want it to become. It just is. And what it is beautiful. Much like the entry-level model that we reviewed earlier, this car features the Joker-looking front fascia. But this isn't your typical Tim Burton Joker. Nope. This is more like the Joaquin Phoenix version. You know, all dressed up, ready to cause trouble, reserved yet chaotic. Something dark. The same yet somehow still different. And underneath that sparkling white color lies a darkness, an edge ready to just break out anytime. You see, in order to further customize this Vios, the owner chose to preserve the car's original black paint by giving it a special diamond pearl white wrap. You have to see this in person to truly appreciate how it looks. The way the light plays with the wrap surface brings even the most expensive paint jobs to shame. The special whole body wrap is provided by the experts at S5S Autohub. You can find the installed modifications in the description below. I mean, look at this. I've been shooting cars in the same location for the past few months now on the channel, but nothing else plays with the light much like this Vios. You see, wrapping your car is another option you might want to consider in place of giving your car a complete paint job. First of all, you get to keep your original paint underneath, registering your car in the original color, but you still have the freedom to pick whatever color you want. And getting the desired wrap, as long as installed by the right shop, can potentially last, 3 to 5 years at a fraction of the cost of getting the same quality and color compared to traditional paint jobs. Now, if you're worried about registering your car, you can still register it like I mentioned under the same color, because this is technically just a sticker that you apply to your car. Now, the owner, Mccoy, also added a little extra to the process. He gave the paint underneath a special ceramic coating from Buff Garages. This gives the paint an added layer of protection from the elements. This car has special TRD body kits wrapped around it, giving it a more edgy and sporty appeal, yet keeping it stock looking. Toyota may have left the TRD in the sidelines because of its Gazoo racing division, but I personally think the TRD is still the way to go for the brand. There's something about the words Toyota Racing Development that tugs on the nostalgia and heartstrings of yours. Like all my favorite car modifications, the owner chose to improve on the car's suspension and handling characteristics, first before planning and adding in additional performance parts to the car. You have to make sure that your base is ready to take on future upgrades after all, and nothing but the best parts are placed in this Vios. It has BC racing coilovers, which I'm starting to believe is a default choice if you want to achieve a lower stance and handling upgrades without sacrificing drivability. It also has lightweight 17-inch Volt Racing ZE40 wheels, and these are forged from a single piece of aluminum billet, ensuring lightweight but unmatched durability. Locking it into place are matching raised lug nuts and air valve caps. Now, if you have the hardware, you might as well keep the theme going, right? Feature potential upgrades include a big brake kit as well as strut bars and engine mounts. The inside of the car has been left pretty much stock for now, apart from the upgraded Pioneer head unit controlling the entertainment inside. My biggest complaint with the Vios in general is the lack of driving information, more particularly the temp gauge and the volt gauges, but being a subcompact car, I understand Toyota's decision to leave these out, but Mccoy recognizes this and added a little extra on the inside. There's an OBD2 controlled Magician information module where you can change the information display on it depending on what you want to see, and yes, it has the temp gauge that I always wanted. You also have the good old TV Plus box inside to keep you up to date with current events. Who are we kidding? It's just to watch telenovelas, as well as Android system dash cams and upgraded interior lighting. Now the car is brimming with features, and yet the owner says the setup and modifications are far from complete. Now this is what I'm saying about expectations that we place on cars. Why would anyone want to put this much attention and care on what is essentially a fleet car? For one thing, boy, you're mistaken if you think this is your run-of-the-mill fleet special. The 1.5G is powered by the all-new 1.5-liter 2NR FE, introduced in the mid-life cycle of the third-generation Vios. It features dual VVTi timing technology, which means it is able to change timing characteristics depending on your performance needs. It's an improvement over the older engine, which was a carryover far back from the first-generation Vios. The updated engine gives the car a small performance bump to 105 macho caballos and 140 torques. It isn't as dramatic as the Corollas, but I don't think it's a good thing. There hasn't been any updates as of yet under the hood apart from a scav and straight pipe exhaust upgrades from JoeMuff, terminating to a thigh kit racing exhaust tip. Mccoy, the owner, however, plans to go all out in this car with potential forced induction systems to the engine. Now, I have my doubts on what this can do to the Vios, but I trust that the owner knows what he's doing. Driving this 2019 Toyota Vios TRD introduces a lot of double takes from all the people we came across with. Yes, this is the same Vios you see every day, but you just know that something's different about it. This is the Vios that has broken free from public expectations and public opinion. Now, Mccoy has owned countless of cars before this, among them Lancer MX 2003, Honda Civic VTi, Nissan X-Trail, BMW E46 M Sport, Forester XT, BMW 118i, M-Tech, Honda Civic SIR, Subaru Impreza WRX STI, but at the end of the day, he chose this Vios. And why is this? He tells me that he wants to break out on his own. The Vios is the country's best-selling car, the very definition of dime a dozen. You know what? A majority percentage of Vios sales actually come from the Philippines, no thanks in part to its fleet and tax use, but Mccoy thinks differently. This car represents the one in a literal million, the individual wanting to break free from the norms and opinions of others. The car has inspired me so much and has made me reconsider the direction of this channel. The Vios is Toyota's most important model, more than the Supra, the 86, more than the Fortuner, because it reaches out to so many people. It made me realize that yeah, I too am just a drop in the sea of car review and car featured channels, but just like this Vios TRD, I want to break free.